The sound of music fills the room, deep and loud, vibrating off the walls. People talk, laugh, and move in groups that always seem complete. Complete without you. You hold a glass in your hand, but you no longer remember if it's full or empty. You just use it as an excuse to occupy your hands, as if that were enough to justify your presence there. Eyes pass over you endlessly, but they don't stay. It's as if you're transparent, a detail that doesn't deserve attention. You force a shy smile when someone bumps into you, but no one notices. No one asks your name. No one strikes up a conversation. The music swells, the laughter grows, but inside you the sound is different. The silence of loneliness. You think it's worse to be ignored than to be alone. Alone, at least, there are no expectations. Every detail of the party seems to highlight your invisibility. The lavish table is flavorless. The colored lights don't illuminate anything in you. The conversations seem to be in another language. You wonder if anyone would notice if you simply left. His chest tightens. The feeling isn't just from this past night. It's the weight of so many other times he's been ignored. At school, at work, even at home. Being invisible seems to have become part of his life. And the question lingers. If no one sees me, do I have value? You move away from the center of the party, leaning against a wall, trying to disappear completely. The sound of the music seems distant, as if the world has decided to move on without you. And it's exactly at that moment, when the feeling of emptiness almost swallows you, that someone approaches. He doesn't laugh, he doesn't walk right past you, he doesn't look right through you. He looks at you. Paul Walker stands before you, as if he's the only one who truly sees you that night. Paul stands before you without saying anything. The rest of the party continues as if the scene didn't exist. Laughter cracking in the air, glasses clinking, songs changing beats as if trying to forcibly keep the night alive. Faces pass, lights flash, but for the first time, someone doesn't pass you by. They stop. This stopping has weight. It has respect. It has presence. You reflexively lower your eyes, like someone who's learned to shrink themselves to fit into spaces they've never truly been invited into. The glass in your hand trembles a little. It's not from the cold. It's from years of silence accumulated at parties, gatherings, family lunches, where your voice served as a backdrop to other people's conversations. Invisibility has become a habit, and habits seem eternal until someone breaks them. A group near you bursts into laughter at something you didn't hear. You try to smile, but you don't join in. The laughter turns into a wall. Inside, your mind projects memories like a screen. The time at school when you raised your hand and no one noticed. The meeting where your idea was ignored until someone else repeated it and received applause. The lunch where you tried to tell a story and the conversation went through you like glass. The wound isn't from today. It's always been there. Paul steps aside, creating a microspace where the sound seems to lower without actually lowering. He doesn't touch you, but his presence pushes the world back an inch, as if to say, "Here, you breathe." You inhale and realize there's air. The sensation is strange, almost uncomfortable. Being seen hurts when you get used to being a landscape. You notice trivial details to keep from collapsing. A dimly lit lamp, a loose ribbon on the wall, a fallen napkin. Meanwhile, something inside asks, if no one sees me, what is my value? And the next question hurts even more. Has my life always been like this? Or have I just gotten used to this background? Someone bumps into you without apologizing. The glass rocks, a sip lands in your hand. You smile automatically, like someone who's learned not to disturb. Paul follows the gesture without judgment, with a look that reads what you haven't said. How many times have you erased yourself so others could shine? How many times have you confused kindness with self-effacement? The music changes. A slower bass fills the room. The lights warm, drawing golden hues. For a moment, you see yourself reflected in a window. It's not a ghost, it's a person. Weariness in the gaze, but a person. And in this makeshift mirror, a question whispers. What if there is hope even here, amidst so much indifference? Paul adjusts his body, as if creating a shelter. He doesn't push anyone away, he doesn't confront anyone. He just stays. And his staying gives you choices. continue shrinking, or experience an inch of presence. You don't know how to show up. They never taught you. But perhaps showing up starts within, before any words are spoken. Memories move deeper. The promotion that didn't come, not for lack of talent, but because you never stepped up to the plate. The money you didn't get, not because of laziness, but because you were afraid to ask for it, afraid to negotiate, afraid to exist while taking up space. The shame of looking in the mirror and seeing someone who's always waiting their turn, since it never comes. Paul doesn't rush. Time, which flows haphazardly at the party, slows down within this small circle. You notice your chin slightly raised for the first time all night. A small gesture, a big sign. Change is just that in the beginning. Millimeters that no one notices. But that, inside, move mountains. The conversation in the group next door turns into a meaningless murmur. Your heart, which had been beating fast out of embarrassment, finds a less desperate rhythm. And it's in this new rhythm that you notice an almost invisible detail. Two curious gazes shift from the circle and land on you for a second, not in mockery, but out of genuine curiosity. The presence of someone who sees you pulls the gaze of others, like gravity. You haven't said anything yet, and yet something has already begun. Amidst the loud music and inside jokes, there's a silent field where you are whole. Paul didn't save you from a crowd. He gave you back to yourself for a moment. And in that moment, the possibility you've always lacked emerges. The future doesn't need to be a stage. It can be a small table with an active voice. It can be the courage to say, "I'm here." You feel your hand relax on the glass. Your shoulder drops a centimeter. Your body takes its place as if learning a posture no one taught you. And it's precisely when the internal space is organized that Paul's voice begins to emerge. Not yet spoken, but ready to pierce the night like someone turning on a light in just the right corner. Paul tilts his head, as if measuring the weight of his breath before opening his mouth. The music remains loud, but when he speaks, it seems the whole room slows down just to make room. "Do you know what hurts about being invisible?" he asks without looking away. "It's not that others don't see you. It's that you start to believe you don't exist." You hold your breath. The sentence sinks in like a truth already known but never spoken. Paul continues calmly. "Look around. Everyone here is trying to stand out. Some exaggerate, others shout, others hide behind full glasses. But you think your silence is a flaw. It's not. It's an unused choice. You try to protest, but no one notices me." Paul raises a firm eyebrow. "So you believe the value of your life depends on the way others look at you?" "No, your value is already here. What changes is how you occupy the space. You feel your chest burn. He leaves no room for escape. The future isn't reserved only for those who shout the loudest. The future belongs to those who choose to exist. You have choices. You can remain invisible, or you can take a step, however small, and say, "I am here." You swallow hard. Paul moves a little closer, his voice low, almost intimate. It doesn't have to be a speech. It doesn't have to be a dance. It can be a look. It can be presence. It can be a simple phrase in a conversation. This is faith, believing that even the smallest gesture carries power. You shake your head, unsure. "What if I fail?" Paul smiles slightly. "So you failed trying. You failed in the present, and that's already a victory. Because the failure of those who show up is worth more than the illusion of those who never tried. Shame isn't a stumble. Shame is giving up on walking." He gestures discreetly around the room. "Do you think everyone there is looking at you?" They're not. They're too busy trying to hide their own pain. Many would give anything for a moment of courage. Do you think money can buy that? It can't. Money buys false shine. But it can't buy true presence. The words sound like hammers knocking down the wall that surrounds you. Paul concludes bluntly, "You don't need everyone to see you. You just need to see yourself. The rest is a consequence." Change begins within when you decide to stop asking permission to exist. You take a deep breath, your heart racing. For the first time, you feel like the possibility of being there isn't an unattainable dream. It's a choice. Your choice. You take a deep breath. The air of the party remains the same, full of cheap perfume, smoke, and laughter. But inside you, something shifts. Paul's words haven't drowned out the sound of the music or the indifference of the others, but they have changed the way you listen. It's no longer the noise that suffocates you. It's the backdrop. You look around again. The scene is identical. Groups talking, people laughing loudly, glasses clinking. But now you notice a new detail. No one there is as confident as they seem. The laughter seems too forced, the poses too exaggerated. It's as if everyone is trying to hide that they too are lonely. You're not alone. You never were. Your heart races. But not from fear. On the contrary. For the first time in a long time, it's anticipation. The thought that you can choose to change something, even if it's small. Look up, catch a glimpse, start a sentence. It's strange, but possible. Paul doesn't say anything else. He just stands there, witnessing the first step you haven't yet taken. It's as if he's silently saying, I'm not the one who will live for you. It's you who decides. You feel the glass weigh less in your hand. Instead of a shield, it can be just a glass. You rest it on the nearest table, freeing your hands. It's a simple, almost insignificant gesture, but it's a choice. It's change, your chest opens a little more, you look up, and by chance, you catch someone's eye in the nearest group. They don't look away. They smile quickly, almost automatically, and return to the conversation. But to you, it's huge, because for the first time, it didn't go unnoticed. You realize that presence isn't shouting. Presence is taking up space unapologetically. It's faith in yourself. It's recognizing that your life has value, even if no one applauds. The party continues, but now it doesn't feel like a hostile place. It feels like a training ground. Every gesture, every breath, every look is an opportunity to exist. The future doesn't need to be a stage. It can be a table, a hallway, a shy conversation that turns into friendship. Paul crosses his arms, as if observing contentedly. You understand you don't need collective applause. You just need to keep choosing to show up, even if only gradually. The rest will come in time. The music continues to pulse. The conversations, the laughter, the clinking glasses, none of it has changed. But inside you, the space is different. What was once suffocating is now open. You feel you have a choice. Stay in the shadows or take small steps toward the light. Paul gives a slight, almost imperceptible smile, as if acknowledging something has already happened there. He doesn't speak loudly, doesn't try to compete with the party. He speaks softly, directly to you. Now you know. Invisibility isn't destiny. It's a choice about how to live your life. Value isn't born from the eyes that see you. It's born from the way you choose to exist. You take a deep breath. The words echo like an extra beat in the music. Paul continues. The future doesn't wait for an audience. It waits for a decision. As long as you breathe, there is always hope. There is always room for a new change. Your throat burns, but it's not from embarrassment. It's from recognition. He places a firm hand on your shoulder. Money can buy the spotlight, but it can't buy dignity. Only you can choose that. And every time you choose to show yourself, even without applause, you strengthen your faith. His smile widens a little. You didn't say anything today, and yet, you've already shown up. Imagine when you choose to speak. You swallow hard, and before you can respond, Paul takes a step back. The crowd continues, but seems unaware of him. He takes one last look, with the calm of someone who exudes confidence, and blends into the lights of the party, as if he'd always been a part of it. You stand still, but differently. Your hands are free, your chest is open, your eyes are ready to meet others. The sensation is still frightening, but also exciting. And in the back of his mind, his question echoes, louder than the music, clearer than the laughter. Now that you know you can be seen, how will you choose to exist from now on?